LaVelle E. Neal III, columnist for the Star Tribune, at LaVelle Neal via Twitter, has joined us in studio. We thank you for listening to the radio at FM 100.3 KFAM or via the free iHeartRadio app. Talk back now. But you also can watch this portion of the equation, and here is E.
Hey, you follow us on all the various social mediums, platforms, etc., the Twitters of the world. We have YouTube. We got it all, and you follow it all. And thanks to Quantum Fiber, the final hour of 9 to noon, not only with LaVelle E. Neal III, columnist Star Tribune, but Pat Micheletti with us towards the back end of the show. That's all streamable. So thank you, Quantum Fiber, and thanks for hanging out with us 9 to noon.
LaVelle, you got after it with that 3-2 this week. I know we mess around a lot, and it's ack, give joking around with old school, best school of whack. But you got after it with that 3-2, man. I mean, I envisioned you just pounding on that keyboard, dusting away cigar ash per paragraph like a modern day Bill Gleason. The twins, Bill Gleason, your thoughts? Because in that 3-2, man, you got after it. And good morning.
Yeah, I just wanted to address a few things.
You didn't say good morning.
Good morning, Paul. It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
What about Eric?
Who already tapped the window for him.
Got you.
So, but I mean, for presentation purposes, I'll say hello to Nordal, too, and a happy Monday to him.
Good morning, LaVelle.
Good morning as well. So, yeah, it was a little meaty. I guess I was irritated by some of the things I've been seeing for the Twins recently, and I just decided to address some things. I mean, Correa is showing some signs of waking up because he had the grand slam on Saturday. It's still not all there yet, and I was driving back from Chicago yesterday, listened to the game on the radio, and Molitor was doing the commentary, and he pointed out that he watched Correa, like there was a double he hit, and he didn't run hard and almost got caught at second, pulling in second. And Molitor said, I watched him the entire time. You can tell that the foot's bothering him.
Wow.
So he's playing hurt. He's trying to be out there for the squad. The at-bats have been ratty until a couple things the last few days. So he's trying to be a trooper about this, but still, I was advocating a drop in the batting order. I still am.
Yeah.
Although he's hit a couple homers in the cleanup spot. I don't know if that's as far. It's not as far as I wanted him to be moved in the order.
Well, see, that was suggestion one. Yeah. Get Correa out of the 3 spot. And you were kind of like, was it 5'6" or 6'7"?
I was like 5'6".
Yeah.
And my thing is, too, he was hitting 182 at runners in scoring position. Your number 3 hitter can't be doing that. Mm-hmm. Just can't, because there's going to be guys on base, or should be, in the functional lineup.
That was well-timed, dropping that nugget in the 3-2 when he hits the grand slam against Toronto.
Yeah, and Christian Vasquez is a fine defensive catcher. He's great with handling pitchers and calling the game and controlling the running game. But my goodness, when your on-base percentage is higher than your slugging percentage, that's an issue. Unless you got like a 420 on-base percentage or something, a 400 slugging. But I think when I checked, he was 164th. He would have been 164th in OPS. Thanks to Ken Cha, our copy editor, he updated it for Sunday. He would be 170th. Among major league players at OPS if he had enough qualifying at bats.
You're down with OPS? Yeah, yes.
Yes, I do. I like OPS. Combination of getting on base and driving in people.
So do I, very much.
And so I'm just advocating more Ryan Jeffers there.
Yeah.
So the bullpen's ratty.
I like how you laid out that Jeffers piece. I mean, because it had more than a chip chair and chance. It's a chip chair and chance,
right? But
it has a little more of the analytical wherewithal in that 3-2. I'm telling you, this was meaty, and you were pounding on that keyboard with having to dust off cigar ash like a modern-day Bill Gleason. And I felt that through reading it on my app, though.
And for those of you who don't know, Bill Gleason is like a legendary Chicago sports writer. Yep. So growing up in Chicago, I watched this. There was this TV show called The Sports Writers on TV, of which the sports show here was loosely based on.
Yeah.
And it would be Bill Gleason, Joe Musil, Rick Tellender joined later on, Bill Joust, he wrote for the Chicago Tribune.
No Mike Royko?
No Royko. Never saw Royko on there.
Got it.
And then Gleason would be a fixture, and Ben Bentley would be the host.
But didn't Gleason have the big fat cigar?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, that's right.
He did. And Joust would try to sneak beer on the set, things like that. So I grew up watching that show, and I loved it. So when moved here and found out there was a sports show, I was like, oh, this is great.
Now with the controversial 3-2 and RA3-2 and StarTribune.com or search LaVelle Neal and you can find this column because I read it yesterday, then read part of it again back last night to make sure I wasn't making a mistake here, but I couldn't figure this out, man. And this is FIA. Fairness and Announcer Act.
Okay.
I'm willing to concede that I'm screwing something up here. What exactly do you want them to do with Arraez Lopez? I couldn't figure that out.
Well, what I was saying was, because of the way the bullpen is being ratty as it is right now, and we saw that at its worst yesterday, there's really no one they can turn to as a major bridge builder to the ninth inning.
Yeah.
And in most cases, you'd be able to just use Arraez in the 6th or 7th to get him right, then slide him back into that spot. They don't have anyone to slide into that spot while he's trying to get right. Brock Stewart.
When did he not get right? I mean, he was the bomb there for a minute.
I think it started in L.A. when he was great in April, and then they went to L.A. He had that game when he walked in the bases loaded, walked in the run. That was a mess, and it just started going haywire after that. And he's got like a 4.5, 4.6 ERA during his time with the Twins since the trade from Baltimore. When he was nails with Baltimore, and when that trade was made, I was like, that's a good move because now you have closer A and 1A in Duran and Lopez.
Yeah.
And I thought that was not going to be a problem this year, but it has been. But, they got like Brock Stewart they've called up. They've called up Jose De Leon. And those guys have live arms, but they're pretty much unproven in late inning, high leverage situations. Emilio Pagan, who I've defended and say there's a role for him as a 6th or 7th inning guy.
I'm glad you brought that up because I wanted to defend you when you're done.
Well,
because you never said put him in these high leverage spots.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That said, Paul, yesterday was a late inning spot for him. Yeah. And if I woke up in the morning looking at the lineup going, Pagan's going to have to pitch today.
Yeah.
Because Lopez and Stewart and De Leon have been used. Stewart had pitched in 2 straight games. I know the second game was a 1-pitch outing, but still 2 straight games. I'm sure they were nervous about using him 3 straight games. I was like, Pagan's had to pitch today, which happens. My thing is, even though it was a late inning situation, you cannot have a performance like that.
Yeah.
He made his mess and couldn't clean it up. He started out with a clean inning against the 7, 8, and 9 hitters.
Wow.
It was set up for him to succeed, and I can't say that phrase. Hey, he just screwed it up.
Yeah.
So,
and he S'd the P.
Yeah, I was going to say something else, but listening to the game while I was driving back. I could feel the intensity in that game, even though the Twins are up 4-0. You just feel like the Blue Jays are going to make a run, and once they got an opening, they jumped in and grabbed it. Man, it was too bad. But I will say this: try not to digress. But there's a lot of other things that went on in that game. They could have knocked Gosman out in the first inning. Julian screwed up a double play ball that kept the inning alive for Chapman, hit a 3-run homer.
Yeah.
Gray was at third with no one out, couldn't get home, and then Pagan. There's a lot of things that went in their game. But I'm saying that the only way for Lopez to get right, he's going to get right in the same role that he's in right now. They have no choice but to use him in the 8th inning and see if he could just turn things around. That's why I was headed up with that.
And now all of a sudden, I mean, it's the marathon, not sprint bit. And when I had Royce Lewis on the radio show last week, and another Twins guest earlier in the week, it's fact to say, ain't nobody hitting now. The high leverage moments are not going the way of our bats,
right? But
that doesn't mean next week it won't change, because that's how baseball works when you have these series. I mean, you know better than anybody, man. You covered it for 2+ decades. You got a 3-gamer here, you got a 4-gamer there. You get a day off. You recalibrate. Now all of a sudden you're hitting the bleep out of it, and then you don't hit. Then you do hit. I mean, most teams now, like the Texas Rangers, or the LA Dodgers, there are certain teams that don't fall in these funks. However, all of a sudden they're hitting it well. And I found this to be interesting. Galsman, the starter yesterday for Toronto, the Twins have just clowned on him a little this year.
Right.
They blasted him yesterday, and in May, when he was red freaking hot, they drew 5 walks.
Yep.
And made him throw 106 pitches in 5 and change. So that's where, for like the casual like me, that's what gets frustrating. Because to have a pitcher like Galsman, who's all-star quality, throw 106 in 5 and change, and the patience to draw walks, they can be that team too, you know?
I agree wholeheartedly, Paul. They can, and they need to even some of this out. But they're going from one extreme to the other. When they're making contact and having good at-bats, it's a great offense to watch. But it's just so many doggone strikeouts along the way. And I think they're 13 games under 500 when they strike out at least 10 times or something like that.
Jeez.
You know, and so you go one day they're striking out, the next day they're getting some hits, and then 3 straight days they're striking out. Then the 4th day they're getting hits. And it's just the extremes that this team operates on. When they're swinging well, it looks great. It looks functional, like they did against Toronto. When they're not, it looks like the Rays series. You know, I think they're fortunate to win 2 games in this road trip. The way the trip began with the 3 losses against the Rays, and they should have won the 3rd one.
Yep.
But you know, they come into a week now. They're back at the crib. You know, they can
border battle.
They can say we won 2 out of 3 in our last series. They got the Brewers' first game is a headliner. It should be the national game of the night. Corbin Burns against Pablo Lopez.
Yeah.
That's a great matchup.
Yeah, well, Burns was diseased, but now he's back.
Right, he is. And it's going to be, Milwaukee fans going to be in town.
Yep.
It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I heard
and plus the Twins, to me, if I'm the Twins, I'm in the clubhouse going, we've sputtered way too much.
Yeah.
It's time to make somebody pay for this.
Yeah.
Someone's going to pay because when we get going, everything's rolling, and we get more health, when we get healthier, we're going to make some people pay for the crap we went on the first couple months.
I heard a wonderful conversation last week between the techie with the Athletic and Barrero. It was a late week piece. And they were talking about like the Arraez trade and some of these trades and everything. And, I've read and or heard that before. But when they went down the road of Pablo Lopez and truly analyzing Pablo's value to this team, I'll lay it out like that. But what do you think? How do you analyze at this portion of the equation Pablo Lopez's performance here and reliability moving forward, where you'll have to cast your gaze compared to what was given up to get him?
I think the Twins traded for Pablo Lopez to be the anchor of the rotation for years to come.
Wow!
Based on the financial commitment they made to him,
anchor over Joe Ryan.
Yes, they believe in him. They believe that he is going to be the man. Joe Ryan could be a close second, definitely. Yeah. And I'm at the point now where the Twins need to start thinking about buying out his arbitration years. The first 2 years, first 2+ years for him have been very impressive, and he's not afraid to get better. Went to drive line during the offseason, added another pitch. He's got an arsenal now. But I like Pablo Lopez a lot. To me, it reminds me when I covered Brad Radke, because he was also a changeup guy.
Yeah,
and Radke thrived his last few years as a starter when he started pitching inside more and to set up that changeup on the other side of the plate. I'd like to see Lopez come inside a little bit more. I think that will open things up for him because he's got great movement on his fastball. It's a mid-90s fastball. He's got a sinker. He's got a breaking ball and that changeup. And that changeup, people believe, is one of the best in baseball.
Really?
Yeah. So you got
like Johan Santana-esque?
Yeah, I believe Bob Melvin said it last year when his team was about to face Lopez.
Yeah.
He said it may be the best changeup in baseball.
Remember that Santana changeup?
Yes.
Oh, that was a badass pitch, man.
Absolutely. So, for what they gave up in Luis, batting champion. I guess I should. I'm gonna lay it out. Well, I was in Chicago. It's my brother's birthday weekend trip. So we went.
Larry got married.
Birthday.
Oh, birthday.
Weekend. Birthday.
I'm sorry. No, it's
I didn't
birthday,
say wedding.
not birthday.
Oh, bite me. All right. So, lot of stuff going on in Chicago last weekend.
Yeah.
There was a regatta in Lake Michigan. Blues
What's a
Fest,
regatta?
like a boat. A boat race.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Was Dan Schneider on it? Still
Not
hiding
sure.
from Goodell?
Not sure.
Okay.
Blues Fest was going on. And the Grateful Dead. Well, I can't remember. It's not Grateful Dead because Jerry Garcia's guys like Dead and Company or Dead and Friends or whatever.
Yeah, great. Well, I think they hired the former lead singer of the B-52s or somebody named Fred Durst, and they call it Grateful Fred.
No, they don't. It's like Dead and Friends. Anyway, they performed 2 nights at Wrigley Field. John Mayer is now singing for them.
Did you see Al Green when he performed at Soldier Field?
Never.
You didn't go to that?
No.
Somebody I know went to that, man. I'd love to see the Reverend sing there.
So, long story longer, I interviewed Luis Arraez on Saturday for a column on Wednesday. So watch out for that in the Star Tribune. Just talking about his time with the Marlins and what went right and wrong with the Twins. I forgot about this. I don't know if I can't remember when we came up during the trade, but Luis still has a residence here in the Twin Cities that Pablo Lopez is renting from him.
That's cool.
Which I thought was pretty
jacked
cute.
Up the rent on him a little bit.
So you're talking to Luis. I mean, they gave up. And here's a problem. At first, I was kind of shaky about the trade because Arraez was like the only guy who I could trust getting a hit in a big spot.
Yeah.
That he's not going to be afraid of any pitcher on the mound. And we saw that like in his first year when Diaz, the closer for the Mets, who's throwing 101. Edwin Diaz comes in, and he's facing Arraez comes in the middle of the back. I think someone got hurt, and he fought off about 8 pitches before getting on base.
Yeah.
So he's fearless in the box. So they were losing that. Would he have helped the Twins right now? Absolutely. But instead of having 5 hits in the game, they would have had 7. And would that have made the difference? We don't know, but maybe.
But with Lopez and the low-hanging fruit here is the earned run average. The eye test indicates Pablo Lopez is a valued addition to this team, A.
Right.
B, with Malley having gone down, if you got no Malley and you got no Lopez and you got no Maeda, right? I mean, holy cow. I mean, Sonny Gray started better than he's been of late, but he still has some reliability to him, and I love JoJo. You see what I'm saying there is that he's a valued asset and one for which you have to pay.
Absolutely. And I also remind people that, I was, even though I'm not a beat writer anymore, I was kind of keeping up with the Twins on this whole Arraez trade thing because I was intrigued by it. And they kept saying, we're not going to trade him. We're not going to trade Arraez for Lopez 1-for-1. It's not going to happen. And then 2 days later, the trade's announced. And I'm like, I called the guy and said, what the hell happened? They added some prospects. Don't forget that the Twins got 2 prospects in addition to Lopez in this deal. One of them's in their top 10 prospect pool.
Ooh.
So, they thought it was a prudent trade. There's also concerns about Arraez's knee and him holding up in the long term. And I will throw this nugget out too. In talking with Luis in Chicago, he did point out one thing. He said Polanco is going to play second. I know they wanted Kirilloff to play first. Where was I going to play?
Right.
So he brought that up.
Yeah.
So I mean, he wanted to stay like the people here. He knows the fans want him back.
Yeah.
But he was also a realist in this thing too.
If I went LaVelle E. Neal III, he's old school, best school. He's the first full-time guest in the history of yours truly on KFAN. It was PA in Dubay, AM 1130, KFAN off Xerxes in Bloomington. It was a little show called Sidekick Saturday, where LaVelle would join each and every Saturday. And then he became a full-time guest of ours. And LaVelle and I have been best friends-ish for about a quarter century. So it's great to have LaVelle back in studio today. If I went and saw Miami Messi, all right, Inter Miami.
Yes.
If I went and saw Miami Messi,
your tickets would be three times as much now.
What would I see that would wow me?
At this stage in his career, he doesn't run as much as he used to. You have to build a team around him, in which he gets service in areas where he could dominate. But once he starts to strike the ball, it will be hit with pace, and it will be hit with accuracy. And they'll have the goalkeeper diving at a vapor trail most of the time. So you'll see his finishing ability, free kicks, being dangerous in that situation. Of course, he'll be taking penalties.
Yeah.
But he's not a guy who's going to go on some mazy run through the defense and do crossovers and nutmeg people and score. Yeah. He's going to be moving well. He knows he's very offensively gifted in terms of football IQ. He's going to be in the right spot at the right time. He's going to understand the offense, understand the defense, know positioning, know when to roll, know the time his runs, get the ball, and do damage.
This is a team, the United, the Loons eventually could play, right?
Yeah, just not this year. They're not on the schedule this year. Well, they're not on the schedule this year.
Is Miami Messi playing for Inter Miami?
It's Miami.
For longer than a year?
that remains to be seen. I think it's 2 years.
Oh.
I believe it's 2 years. So
it's more than one.
Yeah.
But there's all sorts of weird money in the mix. Like I think he's getting like league cash from Adidas. There's an Apple deal in the mix.
He's getting revenue from Apple TV. He's going to end up getting like $60 million a year out of this bit.
Jeez.
Yeah, something like that. I read the other day.
Yeah.
But he turned down the Saudis. Somebody actually said no to the Saudis.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah. He turned down like $500 million from the Saudis.
Wow.
Yeah.
Why?
Because he wanted to take a step back in his career, think about his family.
Oh.
Yeah, I think he just realized that, look, I've won Champions League, I've won league titles, I finally won a World Cup with Argentina. I've won everything that I've wanted to win.
Yeah.
I can now take a step back, get out of the fast lane, which is European football.
Well, he even said he didn't want to be in France. He acknowledged that was, how about being a PSG fan, hearing that as he leaves? He's like, it was a mistake for me to move my family to France.
What's PSG?
Paris Saint-Germain.
Saint-Germain.
Thank you.
They booed his ass the last home game, too. Oh, they booed the last home game.
How quickly they forget.
Absolutely. Well, anyway, he already had a residence in Miami.
He did?
He's had a career here for a few years.
Yeah,
so.
Of course he did. It's one of those places that looks like when you see Horatio Caine on CSI Miami, and it's like early in the episode, and the lighting's beautiful and all the pastels.
A lot of marble.
He knows us well. He knows our smell. You know?
For sure.
So he's comfortable in the United States. So
who's better and why? Lionel Messi or Harry Kane?
Messi. It's not even close.
Really?
Messi's the greatest player that's ever.
Yeah, Messi may be one of the, if not the greatest.
He's the greatest player that's ever walked the earth.
What about Pele?
I would say if he's not number one, he's in the top 3.
Yeah. Wow.
So,
I'll never forget when I was at Tottenham Hotspur, walking out for the Vikings on the field against New Orleans, and I recognized him, but I didn't know who it was. But like, do you remember, Nordo? You remember the aggressive check-in, like to get out to the field, like you had to put your hand down or the pass or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a super aggressive and detailed pass, fingerprint, whatever situation to walk out to the field. Well, I was right behind Harry Kane, and Harry Kane was there with, I don't know who he was with, but it's like when somebody told me it was Harry Kane, it's just another one of those high-enders that just has that cool factor.
Yeah, and you love saying the name.
Well, but just the way he dresses and the clothes and the hair, he's got some Captain Cool to him, Harry Kane.
Absolutely. I started paying attention to soccer late in Alan Shearer's career at Newcastle, and I'm wondering if like Kane was like Shearer of this moment.
You started playing at what?
Alan Shearer was.
You've been following soccer for multiple decades.
Yeah, but when I first really started getting into it, like Alan Shearer was like at the end of his career with Newcastle.
I first got into, I played soccer for, probably 7 to 8 years, as back when it was called a fullback outside of Oxnard, Maryland, just slide tackling and banging that thing down the field. But it's probably because the tickets were cheap, and living in Anacostia, I lived very close to RFK Stadium. So it was hard to get Redskins at that time tickets.
Right.
Bullets and Capitals are up in Landover. And my mom, is a cocktail waitress as one of her 2 jobs in Washington, D.C. by the Capitol. So I went to a lot of Washington Diplomats games.
Right.
Let's go Dips. Let's go Dips.
Really?
Let's go Dips. Let's go Dips. Yeah, well, they played that. That's why my age-old and tired reference outside of Pele is Franz Beckenbauer, because I must have seen Franz Beckenbauer or Ricky Davis for the New York Cosmos. I must have seen him play 5 times minimum. I saw Pele play at least 2 or 3 times.
Wow, you're one of the ones that saw Pele play.
I wish I had appreciated it, in 77, 78, and 79, the way I look at things now.
I wish I just would have seen what the Met was looked like with 46,000 people in there to see the Cosmos play the Minnesota Kick.
No, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Seattle Sounders were a badass team too then.
Yeah, so for the soccer heads in town, like I highly respect Kane. I want to know if he's truly one of the great ones in the English Premier League. How would you compare him to Rooney? How would you compare him to Shearer?
Yeah.
How would you compare him to a pre-injury Michael Owen? Where would is Kane better than all those guys?
Well, what about bend it like Beckham guy?
Beck's, you could put Beckham in that conversation too. But
I couldn't put Kane ahead of Rooney. Now we're getting into it.
Okay, good.
What about Samuel Eto'o?
Samuel Eto'o, he was with Barcelona, right?
No,
Inter Milan.
Inter Milan. Okay,
yeah.
God, I get those two
Okay.
teams mixed up.
I,
Samuel Eto'o was
King
a
of
monster,
Cameroon.
though.
Mick Tockett is in here next. You're welcome to stick around for a spell if you want. We're going to chat about several things, but if not, then I will see you very soon, all right?
Thanks, brother.
LaVelle E. Neal III, Star Tribune, StarTribune.com. He's a columnist and he's ballyhooed, and we'll be right back.
I'd rather be with you. Yeah.
It's your midday set.
Delay between East Bush Lake Road and 169 with construction. And speaking of construction, we have got plenty of that. 394 eastbound, your exit ramp to Washington closed until the 26th, and 37th Avenue Northeast closed both ways between Central and Stinson until the end of the month. 694 eastbound, the exit ramp to Lexington Avenue closed with construction until the 23rd. That's traffic on the Fan. Traffic is sponsored by Batteries Plus Bulbs.
Buying for a business? Let Batteries Plus be your partner. Whether you have one location or many, you'll find solutions for all of your battery, lighting, phone, and tablet repair needs, plus volume discounts and more. Sign up for a free business account at batteriesplus.com/business. Batteries Plus.
Now, at Clear Cut Exteriors, we've mentioned if you have something that is questionable with your roof, like, I don't know, maybe, leaky roof is that's quite obvious, or storm damage, that would be quite obvious. But what about the roof not matching your style of siding or your style of stucco? Adam and Anthony, couple of East Side kids, no diggity, and fan devotees, have really, really done a good job developing this company over the last 5 years because they work with your budget, and they also have short or long-term situations with said budget, or maybe 18 months interest-free if a roof replacement is required. And they will get up on your roof at no charge. They'll analyze your roof at no charge and tell you exactly what you need or what you don't need. Integrity matters to Adam and Anthony and those at Clear Cut Exteriors. So if you want that free roof analysis, clearcutexteriors.com. That's exteriors with an X when you type it in. clearcutexteriors.com.
Dan Barrero for Mike Bryant of Bradshaw and Bryant. And Mike, I got a question for you. How do you pick your toothpaste?
I go to the toothpaste aisle, close my eyes, and pick one. They're all about the same.
Do you advise would-be accident clients to pick their lawyer the same way?
That'd be a decisive no.
Why not?
Well, frankly, there's too much at stake, and even more importantly, too much to lose. When your rights and maybe even your health are at stake, and you're in a vulnerable position after an accident, it's crucial that you have a lot more selectivity than going down the accident aisle.
Why should he or she put down the toothpaste and choose you?
Because we're experienced, because we're not going to mail in a response when you reach out to us for a free 1-hour consultation. You don't like your first toothpaste choice? You can always switch without much harm. You pick the wrong attorney, or one who doesn't know how to protect you, then you have a lot more to lose. So choose wisely and carefully.
With one phone call, the door to Bradshaw and Bryant will be opened, and they will help. Go to MinnesotaPersonalInjury.com. That's MinnesotaPersonalInjury.com.
Andy, how long have you been at Continental Diamond?
I started right after college working with my Uncle Jimmy 20 years ago.
Jimmy Pessis, he's the best.
Yes, and he's taught me a ton about diamonds over the years, but especially how to treat a customer fairly, like they're a part of our family.
It's what Continental Diamond is known for.
And I believe a huge reason why we've been voted best jeweler 13 years in a row.
Go see Andy or any of the great staff at Continental Diamond for all your diamond jewelry and watch needs. Visit their store in St. Louis Park or online, continentaldiamond.com.
Some things are better together, like burgers and fries, movies and popcorn, and auto and home insurance. At Farm Bureau Financial Services, we'll help you bundle your auto and home coverage in one policy, saving you money. And if a storm hits and both are damaged, you'll pay a single deductible. Find an agent at fbfs.com/protect. It's your future. Let's protect it. Farm Bureau Property and Casualty Insurance Company, Western Agricultural Insurance Company.
Hey, it's Chris Hockey. You're looking for a new career with a great company. I talk all the time about Aquarius Home Services at AquariusHomeservices.com, how they've done great work for me and my family, and I recommend them to everybody. I've also recommended them as a great place to work. These are great people with a great work environment and a company that from top to bottom cares about its employees. Anytime I'm around people who work at Aquarius Home Services, I can just tell they love working for this company. So if you're looking for not just a job, but a new career, please check out AquariusHomeservices.com, earning the right to be recommended.
These are emails filling your employees' inboxes, downloads beaming from device to device, and any one of them could be a cyber attack. Is it possible to keep your small business safe? It is with Comcast Business Security Edge. It helps keep your connected devices protected, and you can monitor threat activity in real time. So this security threat is the last thing you need to worry about. With Comcast Business, advanced security isn't just possible, it's happening.
Get started with fast speeds and advanced security for $49.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get up to a $750 prepaid card with qualifying internet. Call or go online today to learn more. N6/21/2023. Restrictions apply. EcoBill and autopay required. New 50 megabits per second internet and Security Edge customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Arthur's Trade Up Your Diamond event. Even if you bought it elsewhere, you can trade up your diamond for something extraordinary at Arthur's Jewelers.
Back to 9 to noon. Live in the 651 Carpets, home of...
Final hour, 9 to noon, streamable on KFAN social channels. You just go to KFAN.com/watch, KFAN.com/watch, and it's thanks to our friends at Quantum Fiber.
Pat Micheletti.
Hi.
At Pat Mick 2626 with us to discuss the Stanley Cup Final and potentially more, as he undoubtedly is sweating some form of 3-team parlay that would involve, let's see, the Denver Nuggets must be like minus 400 on the money line just to win the game. And then you'll take that to Patrick Mahomes' season total of over 10 touchdown passes at minus 6,000.
Why do I have the feeling you're mocking me?
And then you will take that to an NBA season total of Giannis over 27 games played, which is minus 8,000.
Yeah.
And you'll put up $10 to win $4.20.
Yep.
And you'll feel really good about it.
Yeah, because a win's a win.
A win's a win.
Right?
That's U.S. Open week, isn't
That's
it?
right.
Yes.
It is.
I haven't, it's good and bad. The good part is it's fun and it's great to compete and be on that conference call with like 12 to 14 of us.
Which I'll miss again.
Mess around with the captain, Wesley Walls,
yes.
and KG Senor Spotty, and Cotton John, the next door neighbor. The bad part of it is it's with Petey, just hearing about him all over the world and seeing pictures of him and his wife in a pool in Cabo.
Right.
And it's just like the texts just keep coming in.
I'll get a text from Petey, and then I'll get a text from Lady Pete. I'll get a text from Petey, and then Lady Pete.
And then Baby Petey.
And then Baby Petey. Forgot about Baby. Sorry, Petey.
I actually had Nordo look at my phone.
Yeah.
And try to find a way to mute the conversation with
I know
everybody,
yeah.
like when the tournament started.
Yeah.
And it's nothing personal. It's just constantly ding, 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 God, they just always are coming in, man. And
it's a great week though.
Yeah, it's wonderful though.
Yeah.
They're all unbelievable. The Oracle, don't leave home without him.
No, don't leave home.
Who do you like in the U.S. Open?
I'm not going to tell you. Why would I tell you?
Well, because I haven't scooped chips in this thing in over a year.
I know I have.
I know, but
hello.
Right, I understand that. But when you win 3 of the first 7, well, then winning.
Well, don't
winning becomes habit.
Yeah, really.
Well, right.
Yeah, I think you've won like twice in like 5 years.
No, I won after they invited me in. I won the first 2. Okay.
Okay. Well, I wasn't in then.
I understand that.
Yeah. Well, good.
It took you a long time to win.
Not really.
And eventually I had to trade you a kidney to give you my picks.
You would have donated to me. You would have donated a kidney to me.
For this Canterbury Park Chapel that I've taken over.
Yes.
We do every Tuesday night we do food service for the grooms and those who live in the dorms on the backside and stuff like that. And securing food service for it every single week ain't the easiest thing in the world. Hey, it's Paul Allen. Oh, you got no idea who I am. Cool. Okay, excellent. Well, we're going to need 16 pizzas. Okay, that's 75. That's 750. So anyway, we were going to, for those we serve tomorrow evening. It's every Tuesday night in Shakopee. Me, Sally, and Justin, the three who have taken this over, and the ministry on the backside, we were going to make spaghetti. All right, so
why didn't you call me?
Because our kitchen at the chapel, we have 4 cooktops and we have an oven. I mean, it's very nicely equipped.
That's all I need.
Right, for 60 people?
Sure.
That's the problem.
No.
For between 40 and 60 people we get for these sermons.
I did.
Well, see, I was going to text you and ask you because your sauce is so good.
It is.
But I didn't want to hit you having to come over there. And then all of a sudden.
I'm pretty sure of myself.
All of a sudden, we're calling Joe because the kidney ain't acting right. And then there's. That's the first time I've ever joked about that.
No, that's okay. You can.
And you actually
celebrated 8 years, by the way.
Hey.
Yeah, May 27th.
Remember when all of the dialysis and just everything through which you were going, man?
Yeah.
I think that's the last time I actually called you and talked to you on the phone. Was then because you might have been in peril.
Yeah, and by the way, I'm not giving you my kidney. I'm like, thanks.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you have this problem with a kidney. You're asking me for a kidney, and I said no. Then I felt bad, and you wouldn't even give me your pick of the British Open. Oh, man, you're the absolute best. He's Pat Micheletti. That's who he is. Pat Mick, don't leave home without him. When we return, I want you to hear me out on this. It involves the eighth seeded Miami Heat.
Yes.
And the bottom seeded Florida Panthers. And there's a common thread here that is more than of the South Floridian variety, but there's going to be a major difference. And I want to run it by you because you're an elite hockey, sports, and wagering mind. And he's Mick Tockett. He's on the mural at Mariucci. Don't add him. We'll be right back.
It's your midday soundtrack
with your...
at T-Mobile Arena.
Streaming live only on Hulu. Tickets go on sale Friday, June 16th at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. But starting Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, Capital One cardholders can score tickets and other awesome experiences before anyone else for 48 hours only or while pre-sale tickets last.
Visit iHeartRadio.com/Capital One for more pre-sale details.
What's in your wallet?
What's going on with you right now? Are you craving, I don't know, ice cream as you maybe watch the NBA Finals tonight, or maybe you watch some baseball, some hot baseball action, or maybe when the kids run back in, you want to serve some Nature's Touch ice cream. Now's a great time to get it from Quick Trip. 1 gallon pails, limit to $4.99. In fact, speaking of kids, it's awesome when the neighborhood kids come over and you've saved money when you're getting those 1 gallon pails of Nature's Touch ice cream from Quick Trip and QuickTrip.com. Also, the Mountain Dew Scratch Game, it's ballyhooed, and it's very, very popular. You can learn more at QuickTrip.com/sweepstakes for details. The contest ends in a month and a half, so you better jump into that thing right now. It's called the Mountain Dew Scratch Game with an opportunity to win a pontoon, courtesy of your friends at Quick Trip and QuickTrip.com.
Check out our huge lighting selection and get 11% off everything now at Menards. Update the lighting in your garage or workspace with our great selection of utility lighting options. Right now, get the Patriot Lighting 14,000 lumen LED round high bay light for $99.98 after 11% rebate at Menards. Good through June 18th. Savings or mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Save big money at touchdowntile.com. Peeking at the website right now for those of you thinking about a kitchen or bathroom remodel. Now, we know Touchdown Tile has and is doing tile as well, if not better than anybody. Okay, that's the low hanger. If you need some backsplash or refreshing something, touchdowntile.com. But on the front page, you'll see a KFAN logo. Hit that. And that's a route to saving 23% in 2023 on their showroom for a bathroom remodel. The getting is good at touchdowntile.com.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Meat Sauce here. Summer is also here. As you're on the go chasing your kids around town or hanging out in the backyard on the deck, make life easy for dinner at home with a 7th Avenue pizza. Pop it in the oven or try cooking it on the grill and share your perfect pizza on social media, tagging 7th Avenue Pizza.
Hello, this is Tom Lyons, host of today'sbusinessradio.com, inviting you to tune in for our executive summaries weekday afternoons on Barrero right after the top 5 at 5. You'll learn great business insights from Twin Cities businesses, MHS Insurance, and Phelan Partners Limited.
Nordo here with a tip for mosquito season. Simply enough, get Mosquito Shield. These guys service my yard and I have 0 mosquitoes, 0 ticks. It's like a force field. I bring my kids out there without bug spray on and there are no problems because of Mosquito Shield. They service my yard for the entire season too. So make the most of your outdoor experiences with some help from Mosquito Shield. Go to moshield.com/Nordo for $50 off a season of service. moshield.com/Nordo. You will love Mosquito Shield.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Retired or retiring soon? How much money do you need to live comfortably? Retirement Planners of America is here for you. Would you like to have financial peace of mind? Here's how. Step 1, find out the amount of money you'll need to retire. Step 2, have a plan to get there. Step 3, make sure that plan can take advantage of market gains but protect you from market losses. Discover how to do all 3 with a free consultation at 800-508-6108. That's 800-508-6108.
All investments involve risk, including losses. Past performance does not guarantee future results.
71% off labor plus 36 months no interest financing. Go to buildersandremodelers.com.
This is Super Bowl champion Alfred Williams. Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Mercedes-Benz.
Tonight off for the Twins. They'll host the Brewers tomorrow night. The Twins lead over Cleveland in the AL Central now stands at 1.5 games. After being released by the Vikings, Dalvin Cook is reportedly seeking a significant contract as a free agent, possibly in the range of the $10 million salary he was slated to make with the Vikes. The Heat will be facing elimination in Game 5 of the NBA Finals in Denver tonight. Nuggets with a chance to clinch the first NBA championship in team history. I'm Doug Thompson.
Style runs in the family. Athleticism runs in the family. Extraordinary runs in the family. The Mercedes-Benz range of SUVs. Learn more at MBUSA.com or test drive one at your local dealer.
You're listening to The Fan.
Ain't nothing I can say.
All right, deep stretch, and I definitely want to share this with you.
Okay.
So it's the 8-seeded Miami Heat have stone cold run out of gas. Lazy passing, late to getting back on defense, takes everything to bounce Giannis in the first round, and then handling blowing a 3-0 lead to get to the finals. And what goes into that's anxiety-filled, but they got through it. It's clear the Miami Heat are all done. and probably all done tonight in the – no, they're done. They're all done tonight in the Mile Get High City.
Yes.
The Panthers, the Florida Panthers at the Golden Knights tomorrow night. Vegas can close out this baby for its first title.
Yes.
It's Las Vegas with 3 wins, the 8th-seeded Florida Panthers with 1 win. First team to 4 wins the series.
Correct.
And I'm Dan Patrick. Same thing, right? Panthers win a game, 7 at Boston. They close out Toronto at Toronto and keep scratching and clawing at the 7-0-2, but just can't get over the hump. So I think looking at the point spread, which I thought Vegas would be a little heavier favored, there are those who think Panthers dead tomorrow like fellow South Floridians, the Heat, right? Well,
yes.
Well, the answer, in my opinion, is no. And here's why. This is hockey. It's not the NBA where teams roll over when they know it's nearly impossible. That's a problem in the NBA. They quit, roll over, and they can sense Turks and Caicos, and their minds already are there. That's not the case in hockey. No lazy Florida Panther passing. There is some late getting back or whatever, so maybe you got some injuries and stuff. So, hey, Vegas winning will not surprise me. But if there's a blowout to be had, it'll be the NBA that provides the blowout, not the Stanley Cup final.
I will agree with you, but I just don't see any way that Florida wins the game tomorrow night. I just don't. I don't because
why they've all been so almost.
I know
all been
they have, but to your first point,
Florida wins tomorrow.
No, they don't.
Okay.
No, they won't.
Well, you owe me $50 for the Great Hockey Mind Contest. Want to go double or nothing? I'll go straight up.
I think I paid you, but you may have. But
no, you didn't. You didn't pay me.
But I did.
Okay. I'll put a separate one on it, and I don't even need the plus 133.
I'll give it to you.
I'll just go straight.
I'll give that to you. And I will say this. And the point you made was spot on. Miami ran out of gas.
Yeah.
Why did they run out of gas? Well, they don't have enough depth.
Yep.
Enough depth.
Yep.
And so
same
I
with
look
the
at
Panthers, kind of.
Same thing with the Panthers.
That's an elite point.
And so. And you got a Kachuk who is the the money guy. I mean, he put him out with 2 seconds left, he'll score.
Yeah.
I just think Vegas is just too much. Is too good.
Well, because Vegas is a heavy favorite on the money line. Why wouldn't you like them?
Well, I like them because of the way that they play.
Yeah.
And you can just see that.
Yeah.
Up and down the middle, and their D.
You're
and,
right.
And so I don't see it happening.
Help me with this.
Yes.
Brandon Montour.
Yes.
Gets $3.5 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
All right. He might be a free agent after next season. I'd give him 3 and 16 if he wanted to come and play here. I think he's worth every penny. He is fantastic, and he's exactly, if the Wild start losing blue liners, or you got Jared Spurgeon's older than people think, Montour's a fantastic player, man. I'd give him a pay bump and flirt with him.
He found his game. Anaheim didn't want him.
Oh.
They got rid of him.
Yeah.
Buffalo had him. They got rid of him.
Really?
And he ends up in Florida. And he's had a terrific year. Maybe the system, maybe his partner, maybe whatever. But he's been terrific. He's also been a little, at the end of the game there, I didn't really like, the shot he gave, which started all the commotion. But hey, it's your emotions are high, so you give him the pass on that. But he's been terrific. No doubt he would fit in well here. No doubt
Good
that
size.
this is the type of defenseman that Minnesota needs. A little bit bigger than a Jared Spurgeon.
Has an edge.
Then a Brodin has an edge, can really get the puck to the net.
Mm-hmm.
He can shoot the puck.
Mm-hmm.
And he won't back down, obviously, from anybody.
I love him.
If you could get him, I don't think this team can.
My brother, have a wonderful week. Thanks for coming in
Thank you.
amplifying the presentation.
I'll collect from you next week.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck, Johnny Rahm.
Great to see you.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
I'm Paul Allen. Here's Norda with a wrap on the show.
The Wrap's 9 to noon, brought to you by Casey's Medium Fountain and Frozen Drinks. Only 89 cents. Every day, all summer, 89 cents, medium fountain and frozen drinks. That's at Casey's. We love you, Casey's. Casey's is here for good. 9 to noon with the boom. It's a tradition. Mifta PFT now preaching demolition. Florio's gloom, he's on a fatalistic mission. using Kwesi's decisions as ammunition. Tear it down like the Vikes are starting from scratch. Veterans leaving. Is it a leak without a patch? Like for like, did we draft young talent to match? Or did the GM cook up a bad batch? Certainly, we shall discover soon if we should fall short of shooting the moon. Those who carry faith, are they reduced to buffoons? My voice cracks, I sound like a wounded loon. In the end, we remain in the middle. Should be excited for change and even the pain just a little. Waiting on Neal news, my thumbs, they twiddle. Hoping this defense doesn't get fried on the griddle.